Hello, YouTube. Sorry, I wasn't trying to go there too long with my hello and do all that weird stuff. I'm just happy to be here. It's Sunday night. It is what? June 6th? 6/6/21, man. Oh, June 6th. What a special day. It was my wedding day. 6/6, many days ago, years ago. Mastradamus, thanks for joining here. What's up? Thanks, guys, for joining. I'm really excited about tonight. This is the fourth live in a row. I want to first of all say I'm still planning the Donruss break. We were going to do that tonight. I've just been so busy. I never got up with Matt. We are going to do the Donruss break next week. Next Sunday night, the Donruss break will take place at the time this is normally happening. Maybe I'll do the break before or after, but we will do that. What's up, Robert? What's up, Michael? What's up, Mastradamus? Guys, thanks for being here. Let me just give you a quick synopsis of what I want to cover tonight. A couple things. Want to keep this to about an hour. Don't want to go too long. Not going to cut it off, but want to keep an hour as our goal. Things I want to talk about tonight. I want to talk about some feedback from the collectors, creators dinner that I heard from some other people, which I'm glad that did really, I have to be honest, that got a lot of views for me. One of my most popular videos was the video on the content creators, Dr. Beckett's dinner. And some thoughts on that. We'll talk a little bit about the Babe Ruth and the SEC. I heard something interesting today that I thought's interesting. I'll mention that. I will tell you some videos I'm coming up with that I don't want to talk about tonight, but I'm going to talk about selling tips in the future. And it's going to be kind of a good video, I hope. Hey, Ziggy, good to see you, Michael. Fish on. Man, you're in my break next week. I remember your name there. Donruss break is next week. Oh, here's another topic I want to hit on. In fact, let me show you this. I'm going to do a video on this. Let me share screen. I'm going to invite some people in here, by the way. It's open mic night, so hang in there. Let me just go ahead and share the screen here and go here. Check this out. I was looking at charities for kids cards, and this is sportscardsforkids.org. Unfortunately, they're not taking them because of COVID. So there was a little delay, and I was like, well, that's a bummer, right? And then I went over here to check out this one. This is Cards for Kids, and they're no longer accepting donations either. This one doesn't say why, and I haven't reached out to these organizations. I just started doing some recursory research on this project today. But just between the two of these, neither one of them are accepting them. The only one that I found that was accepting was Commons for Kids, commonsforkids.org. I will say right here, they warn you, we are not an official charity, right? But they apparently take the common cards in, and they donate them to kids. And I don't know. I haven't done research on them either. But these are the three that I came across. This is the only one that seems to be accepting. The other two are not. My question to you, if you guys know of any places that are accepting charity cards for kids, and what I'm really thinking about is putting together something with PSA slabs. Like a lot of PSA slabs are coming back, right? Instead of putting them in repacks, let's give away the 8s and the 7s and the 9s. Let's give those to kids. Is there some way we could do that? So just one of my thoughts there. Let me go back here, pop in here. Gaming God, thank you. What's up, Steve? Steve, great video today, by the way. I enjoyed your video. I'll tell you, I listened to videos. I was in the car for 6 hours today. So I listened to a lot of YouTube, but I did not comment on a lot of YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and let me see, open this up and get somebody else in here. Let me share. How do I do that? Invite, that's what it is. Copy clipboard. There we go. There we go. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's see. I'll let the first guest kind of pick a topic to talk about. Like I said, I got some ideas of things I want to talk about. The collector's dinner was one. The PSA, I don't know if you guys saw last night. I'm sure you did, right? You didn't. If you didn't, Nat, damn it, I don't know why I do that. Nat from PSA was on Sports Cards Live last night for a great conversation. I listened to it. I honestly didn't. I enjoyed it, but I didn't write. There's nothing that was breaking news to me. Where I was like, man, people got to know about that, or wow, does anybody know this one? Nothing new came out of the conversation, and I don't know if it really did anything pro or con in either way. I guess depending on what you wanted going into the conversation last night. I'm curious what everybody else thought. If you guys saw that, what your feedback was. I was chatting with a few other people. I know. Let me see. So here's one thing I thought was interesting. Nate is a collector, and Jeremy just talks about how much he's a collector, and I appreciate he's a collector. But when he was asked about collector questions, specifically subgrades and 9.5s, he gave a very, very business answer, and that was no, right? I mean, just as a collector, I think collectors want more information. I think we'd want that, right? I think even he probably wanted that before he bought PSA, but then when he got to PSA, he's like, no. And I know why. I mean, because it's part of their business plan is how they only have 9s and 10s. Currently it's a tactical advantage in my opinion. I got Rob joining, Notorious Rob's dialing. Hold on a second. I think I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, maybe not. Okay, there we go. Let me go ahead and add Rob to this. Rob,
can
everybody else hear me? How's my audio coming in, by the way?
Good.
Excellent, man. Thanks for joining. Notorious Rob out there in
Kelowna,
Canada,
BC, Canada.
Vancouver, right? BC,
yeah, near Vancouver. Hold on. I just got to turn off my TV. I got
no problem. Look,
I'm a video going.
I'm going to take you off.
Yeah, take me off.
Take you off for a minute. And again, I definitely encourage other people to come in, share their story, answer questions, give comments, feedback. But I did. Oh, Texas Card Dude is here. I'll give him a minute to settle in, check your mic, and I'll get him on. But I really did. I did enjoy the conversation. I found it was. I like Nate. I mean, I like some of the collecting stuff he's doing. I like some of the stuff he shared. I thought he was, like I said, dismissive on a few things. Here's one example. He kept saying, "Well, I don't know. It's a grading question." I understand you don't know, but I hope. I'll tell you what. I'll be honest. I hope he does follow up because he did say he would like to make grading more public. Or have somebody, open the curtains there at PSA. I love that. So that was really, really great to me. I'm going to go ahead and bring Texas Card Dude in. Brad, how are you doing tonight, sir? Thank you for joining, man.
I was trying, Michael. I tried my hardest. I apologize for not being here at the beginning, but I got here as quick as I could.
No problem, man. I like the little it's open mic night. Love to have you join. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. Thank you, sir. Better than
How was your weekend?
Well, I just came from the hospital. My father went back into the hospital, but other than that, it was very well.
That's not good. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope everything works out. Family first, always.
Appreciate it. So that's where I was, and but I did want to make sure that I made it tonight. But Hobby Hotline was fun yesterday. So that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It's always fun when you get to do that. I tried to watch a little bit of Jeremy Lee in the hospital. I got about maybe 5 minutes in, and then I couldn't get. So after everybody goes to bed tonight, I'll watch the rest of that. So I can't really comment too much because I'm not up to date on that. But for the trying to keep up as much as I can on hobby topics. So that's always fun.
Well, I tell you, it was good. One thing I'd recommend: check out Go GTS. Did an interview with the owner of Gemma Mint. And he answers some really good questions about Gemma Mint specifically that Nate does not cover and Nate doesn't have the awareness of. So I don't blame him. I just think I got more from that interview on Go GTS Thursday night than I did from Nate's interview. Did I keep calling him Nate? I keep calling him freaking Nate.
Matt.
I know. What is wrong with me, man?
I watched part of that video too, and there wasn't a lot in it. Is a lot of the usual corporate talk of just running in circles. That's what I found when I watched it.
Well, he's got a corporate responsibility too. He's got a responsibility to a lot of people. So I can understand, not lifting all the covers back, but it's better than having somebody hide. That's at least he put himself out there. That's I give him full props for that. So.
It's funny. I did not know Nat before probably a year ago. I mean, honestly, I've heard about him. I might have seen him on some videos, but it wasn't a big person to me. And I only mention this, okay, right? I think he's fine. I appreciate what he's doing. I'm not naive in the sense you're right. He's a businessman. Mm-hmm. Businessman first, collector second. You can't be a collector if you don't have you can't pay the bills, right?
Right.
And I made a comment to Jeremy when the announcement was made about a year ago, I don't know, months ago, whatever. I said, what would you feel if it was Jeff from Sports Card Investor buying PSA instead? And he even said in his live then, I wouldn't feel the same. And a lot of people wouldn't. I mean, a lot of the collector, it seems like community is very, very accepting of anything PSA does because Nat's running it. Well, he's a collector. Trust him. He knows what he's doing. Oh, trust him. You know what I'm saying? That just seems to me like if Jeff was running it, man, we'd be screaming right now. We'd blame him for shutting it down. We'd blame him for milking people for $300. We'd blame him for a lot of things. I just think it's perception. And I only say that because I wish there were some other questions that were asked last night, not to be hard or mean, but I think we just continue. I don't know. Till we let the executives off a lot. I think as consumers, not even as interviewers. I'll even give Jeremy the benefit of the doubt. He's running a show, but as consumers, we kind of turn let's be honest. I heard Jeremy and I heard Nat talk about their authentication history and how much history. So what? We know there's been fake slabs. We know you guys have missed stuff. You're not perfect. You're not like, it's not like PSA can come out. So we've never had anything missed, So I don't know. I wasn't blown away by it. And I'll be honest, I use PSA more in the last 2 years than any grader. I have. I really have.
I think I've used both equally, BGS and PSA. Although I think I'm coming up to 10 months now. July 29th is when I sent in a 50 card sub through my local card shop. And I have a friend the province over who just got his cards back. I think he was 13 months or something like that. So, either way, it's a long wait, to say the least.
Yeah.
I got another guest joining. I got Andy, who is sports card investigator. Let me also take a quick second to the audience, guys. Thank you all for joining. I want to again introduce you to Texas Card Dude. We have Brad there. If you haven't watched him, definitely check him out. I follow him in the mornings. Andy, sports card investigator, great friend. Rob, great friend. Sports card investigator has a channel. Rob is the only one here who does not promote a channel. I don't promote a channel.
I just promote you, Ziggy, because
he's just a guy who enjoys the hobby and can talk here. And I appreciate anybody else who is like Rob, who just wants to talk, man. Join tonight. That's what open mic night's about. So, Andy, how are you doing, man? How was your weekend?
It was really good. How about you guys?
It was good.
It was good.
I had some golf.
I had a lot of family time, a little driving, but a lot of good time with my boys. So I am not.
You did have the boys this weekend, right?
Yep.
That's
good
awesome.
Boys weekend. Some
That's
cool
awesome.
time.
Yeah.
Keeps me young. But
did you open up any of your blasters there you were talking about?
No. In fact, here's the highlight of my weekend with the boys. I found out negotiations with the ex. I'm getting the two youngest sons during the time the Nationals going on, which I'm super excited. I'm like, great, we're going to Nationals. My 11-year-old's like, no, I don't want to go.
No,
I don't want to go. I'm like, come on.
Like a dagger through the heart right there.
He was like, no, it's too far. I don't want to. Not interested. I was like, really? He's even thinking about staying home with grandma and grandpa, and I'll just take the youngest. The youngest one's like, absolutely, I'll go. He's like, I can't wait to talk to this person. He goes, can I get packs? I'm like, son, you can get whatever you want. You're going to have a blast there. You're a kid. They're going to love you.
Yeah.
But,
oh, yeah.
I'll see if I can talk the older one. We'll see if we can bribe him. But right now, his first comment was, no, not interested. And he keeps asking. He keeps. Here's another thing I'll say. This is my 11-year-old. They each have a Luka PSA 10, right? And when that card hit 2,000, my 11-year-old wanted to sell. Really wanted to sell. I didn't let him sell.
He's mad at
you. His brothers didn't sell, right? And as a father, I didn't want to deal with, if two of them have it and one of them doesn't, I'm going to have to fix that hole later on. I'm like, no, just follow your brothers. Just hang in there. And, man, the further the thing goes, the more I hear from my son who's 11. Dad, we should have sold 2,000. Dad, we should have sold 2,000. It's been funny.
I'm a Dallas fan. Hold that card. I
agree, man. What a game today. What a game today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I have to admire both teams. I admire Kawhi and I admire Luka, man. You guys watch the games? Your thoughts?
I did. I watched it at the hospital. I watched all of it. So I was very disappointed in Carlisle. I'm very disappointed in the associated roles that everybody played, and everybody just kind of said, "Okay, Luka, do it again."
Yeah,
and I was very disappointed.
What do you mean? What I missed that part because I was driving. I was listening to the radio.
So what happens at times with the Mavericks is you'll get chuck a three where you'll nobody will drive a lane. They will just jump out and they'll try to go in. Everybody will block down, kick it out to anybody, and chuck a three. Well, the Mavericks are only like a 25 to 27% 3-point shooting team.
Yep.
So it makes no sense. Well, on a good day, the Clippers are a 40 to 45%. So why would you get into that chuck a three strategy, number one? And number two, when they drove the lane, they were taking poor basket shots underneath the hoop. And I was just like, Come on. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, they were right under the bucket. It was like it was like me right underneath the bucket trying to get it up there. It would go like 1/4 of the way and then bounce back down. It was awful. It was awful. So, and then Carlisle let them go with the chuck a 3 strategy. He had players in there that were playing lackluster, and everybody would let Luka take a shot. And then everybody, as the shot was in the air, nobody went for the rebound. Everybody bailed to get back on offense. So they had easy rebound. I just was disappointed in the game. Not disappointed in the season, but disappointed in the game. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. That's a very good. That's a very good.
That is a good analogy.
Right there. And what everybody's now saying around town is, wait 2 years. He'll bail on. He'll go all the way through his contract, say no, thank you, become a free agent, and he'll be on some super team somewhere. Because
I don't know. I think he'll stay there because I think he likes the owner, and I think he was kind of handed this torch of the owners to take care of him. I think they'll bring people in to win because I think right now, after hearing what I saw today, I think Kawhi and the Clippers are the favorite. Now I know that's a crazy thing to think. But from the West, at least, they're the favorite in my opinion. Now.
Yeah, I put my money on the Nets like 2 months ago.
I know. I still think the Nets overall because I think KD. Andy, what are your thoughts? Did you catch the game? And what do you think about Trey today? Trey was crazy.
Well,
yeah.
I think the Sixers will win this series in 5 games because they couldn't have played any worse, and they were lost by 4.
That's true.
I think the Bulls today. I mean, I think the Hawks would have beat the '96 Bulls today.
Oh, easy! There's fighting words right
That's
there.
how good they were. And for my friend Texas Card Dude, they better get Luka help or he is out.
I agree 100%.
Doubt.
Yeah, Luka needs
He is
help.
playing. I mean, I felt bad for him today. I mean, who's he going to? I mean, it's like Hardaway was hot, then he disappeared, and then Porzingis is right. I mean, it's like it was like I'm like, man, I feel so bad for this guy because he was doing everything he possibly could. But
yeah, I saw you.
I don't know. Utah's going to be a tough out. I mean, really. I mean, Utah's going to be a tough out, so that'll be an interesting. But yeah, I mean, is this the game that puts the Clippers? Now they're going to be moving ahead, but if Paul George, they go Kawhi does so much, but Paul George sometimes disappears. So I don't know. It's a good series. I think the Nets, depending on what happens with Harden.
Yeah.
And you know what the funny thing is with Milwaukee, right? Is this just going to be another Giannis disaster in the playoffs? I mean, he just can never get over the hump,
Well, I feel like he needs help too.
Well,
I feel like he sentenced himself by staying with the Bucks to not getting help. Right? He kind of said, "Well, I don't need help. I'll just be here. I like the community," which is nice. I understand. I think that's great. His brothers play with him. He's probably got a lot of, never pays for a meal in Milwaukee, right? But
I think he's got enough money. Meals don't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm going to call Zion gets 2 rings in the next 10 years in New York. That's what I think. So he's going to go to the Knicks.
Oh, so he's got to play out his rookie contract, and you think he's going to go to New York?
Traded? He'll get traded with some time on the rookie contract because, again, the Pelicans will realize he's not staying. He's going to leave as a free agent. They'll trade him away. He'll go to the Knicks. The Knicks will be looking better. Might be with RJ. He doesn't make a difference, to be honest, man. And maybe Luka goes there. I don't know. I'll say, though, it's also it's funny. The NBA, it seems like every year, though, we know who's going to win or who's going to be in the finals, but I still love watching the games. Like right now, it's almost scratch as far as it's 1 versus 5. And then 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3, 2 versus 3, right? So
it's exciting. It's exciting to watch. I'll say that.
For sure.
Like with hockey, it can be a little bit slower, but with basketball, it is moving fast a lot.
Yeah,
I do enjoy it.
Yeah, my biggest fear is that, and it's happened a couple of times before. The taping of Shark Tank is right at the beginning of free agency every single year. And what ends up happening is Cuban gets absorbed into Shark Tank and something slips through.
Interesting.
Or the perception is he cares more for Shark Tank than he does with Mav. I know better. Cuban's Mavs first, but the perception is that he cares more for Shark Tank than for. I mean, we've had some big name free agents on the hook, and couldn't seal the deal because Cuban was out with Shark Tank.
It's closing the wrong deals.
Yeah, I mean,
I was bummed he let Seth Curry leave. I wanted him to keep Seth last year because I do agree they don't have the shooters that they had.
I think that you keep Luka and Hardaway, maybe one more, and everybody else can go. So, but I'm an extremist, so who am I?
It's funny though, I'll be honest. I'm enjoying the game without really caring about the cards, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really care. Like, I have what I'm where I am with the cards I like in those teams. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. The playoffs aren't going to influence my card decisions at all.
Right now. Me neither.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a huge basketball guy anyway. I'm a Dallas semi fan because I'm here.
Yeah.
But,
you're a baseball guy.
I'm a baseball football guy.
Let me ask you: have you ordered any? You ordered Finest.
Yep.
You ordered. What else did you order recently on baseball?
Update. Topps Black Chrome.
Which I think Update's a good pick, by the way, because we're now assuming that Franco and who else?
Franco and Kalinick, and there's no assumption in that because the checklist for Series 2 is out, and neither one of those big names are in Series 2. So
I know, but could Franco not get called up?
Well, Franco was up earlier, so I would be shocked. I would be shocked because he's already got that. He's already like. I would be shocked if he's not an Update. I couldn't believe that'd be a crime. And Brian Hayes is in Series 2.
So how much is Series 2 hobby boxes right now pre-order?
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Pre-order on the hobby box of Series of the Update.
Yes, you can pre-order Update right now.
How much are the boxes? Do you know?
Ooh,
$1 million.
Close.
Close. Yeah.
1 million.
Yeah. I say it's if I'm not mistaken, I think it's around $2 a box.
It's low twos. It's not.
Yeah, I think
226. I think it's like 210, 225, something like that. It's
personally, I think that's a good buy right now. Not that I'm going to give you financial advice or anything, but that is one of the ones that I would like to go buy now, pre-order, because I would like to rip one of those and hold one of those for the future. Like I will tell you another one I like is I love Bowman Chrome.
Yeah, I love Topps Stadium Club Chrome was the third one. Was Topps Stadium Club. Topps Stadium Club Chrome. So those three, Topps Black Chrome or Topps Black Chrome, Stadium Club Chrome.
Yep.
And
well, they chromed everything out this year. They chromed out.
It's all shiny. Do it.
Yeah, Alan Ginter's chrome.
Yeah.
See, I haven't accepted that yet. I'm still in denial with the chroming.
I can't bite the bullet on football yet. Football prices.
Let me ask you this: do they discontinue
crazy.
the paper products when they make them chrome? Like, is there a Stadium Club regular now?
Yeah, there is. There's Stadium
Club.
I got 2 boxes of Stadium Club coming, and then
I got Michael Ham joining, guys. I'm gonna add Michael here. I think I do. Did I add him?
You added him. I don't know if his.
These guys' finger on the screen. There he is. No, see, I think if a company's going to chrome a product, they should stop making it in the paper version as well, right? Just move on. Like if you're going to do optic, don't do Donruss paper anymore. Why?
So you're going to kill flagship?
Yeah, that hoops premium kind of was like.
Hey, and flagship,
really?
I wouldn't. Flagship, they break it up in series, so they don't do a Series 1 Chrome and a Series 2 Chrome and an Update Chrome, right? They just do the 3 flagships, and they do a Topps Chrome, which I'm okay with, and they'll do an Update Chrome in the winter, which I'm okay with. Right, I mean, I'm okay with Bowman paper, but I'm just saying when you move these other product lines, why not drop the paper when you make the chromes? And let me just go ahead and introduce Michael to the channel. If you guys don't know Michael Ham, I think you guys have met Michael in the past out of Florida, another collector web channel, YouTube. What are your thoughts, Michael, on baseball? Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
I may have to leave and come back in.
I got a little louder there.
Matt saying in the comments, won't see Franco until 2022. It depends on when it. Do they have to have the checklists in by now? If they have to have the checklists in by now, who knows? So I just can't imagine they would hold him for till 2022. That would mean the big prospect is Kelnick, which makes no sense whatsoever. But I don't know. Who am I? I mean,
let me ask you this: when will we know that? Does the MLBA have a cutoff date on when they can call people up?
No, not really, because you could call them up technically for the playoffs if they make the playoffs. So
interesting.
You could make the playoff roster, but then you don't. I don't know if you could make the update. Yeah, I don't think. I don't think if he came up for the playoffs, even if I remember right, Matt, the only reason why he's down is for service time. He was up for a couple of weeks, like Kelnick, and then they sent him down. So,
is Kelnick playing?
Yes.
Yeah, he got called up. Yeah.
Yes, he's up.
So he's a lock for update.
Yeah. Nothing's really a lock with Topps, but I would say it's a pretty safe bet. It's a pretty safe bet. So,
I think
2025 Bubba Chrome. They're around the same. I just opened a box of Finest. I
got Michael, by the way, back here. I'm sorry, I didn't see him.
I'm back. I got it fixed.
I like the Bowman Chrome personally because of the Bowman First Chrome, and I'm just a Bowman First guy. So
I am too.
That's
I am too.
So am I.
Otherwise, Finest is gorgeous this year. Finest reminds me of the old Bowman Best 1980s set. I mean, this is. There we go. That's gorgeous.
This is a good point. As long as they're first, there's no rush to get him in Tampa.
I mean, so with the Wander Franco thing, when he got called up last year, he never actually played. He was kind of like the extended bench for the playoffs in case somebody got hurt. So he never even actually actively sat at a game. So he may not have a card in update unless they get him up in this next month, really. He may not be in until Series 1 next year.
But that's insane to hold that guy back for that long.
We have three guys. We have Josh Lowe, I can't remember, Vidal Bourgeon, I can't say his last name to save my life, and Franco. If you go look at what they're doing in Durham, I mean, Durham's team's so good because they're basically half pro team in AAA right now. And they're hard to stop. They really are. I mean, we have such, and the Rays aren't known for developing hitting at all. We're pitching. We can develop a pitcher like nobody else in the league. I don't care who it is. Think about everybody that's ever left Tampa and gone somewhere else.
Yeah.
Have they thrived?
Yeah.
Yeah. For the most part, yeah.
We get the most out of a player, out of a pitcher, than any other team in baseball. We can make you good, but when we send you somewhere else, whatever they do don't work. But
I'm a Rangers fan, so I can't really say anything. I can't understand why Sam Huff isn't up playing. I don't understand why you've got the guys in 3A and 2A when. So let
me ask. When will Jason Dominguez come up?
He's a couple years out. I would say 2 years.
2 years, okay.
He's too young right now. He's still got to run through the gamut, and unless he truly excels.
What about Jesus? What about, is it Jesus
Sanchez? Sanchez should already be up.
Yeah.
Is he good?
Yes, he's very good, but it's always that group of people that don't do well when they get into the majors. Mickey Moniak's a perfect example. A superstar type prospect, came up, didn't do well. Yep, didn't do well. He came in too quick. If you go look at him right now in the minors, he's killing it. I mean, him, Joe Adele, these other guys, they're killing it. When you get to that next wave in the majors, these guys are so much better and smarter, and just the ability changes. It's that next level that you truly have to adapt to. And some of these guys can't do it. There's been plenty of guys that have done that.
I mentioned Jesus because I love Bowman because I learn about players I'd never learn about if I didn't do it, right?
Yeah. I also follow the minors.
It's a patient person's, investment. Yeah. Like, you don't have to race it. You can buy it. You don't have to rip it right away. You can put it in the corner. It's like a red wine. It only gets better with age. I had a Jesus Sanchez, an orange, number 25 auto. I remember selling for like $1,300, which I thought that was a crazy amount. I'm sure that's a great deal. I have no idea. This is back, I think 2 years ago when it first came out. But I know the player. I follow the player now because of that. Whatever happened to Lolo Sanchez? Everybody was hot on him as well.
Couldn't hack it. Yeah, couldn't hack it.
Oh, really? So is he done?
Not done. There's guys in the minors. Their entire life is the minors. Yeah, you go look. Yeah. I follow the minors. I always go to stats and then look at different leagues to truly try to figure out who's doing really well. I pay attention to at-bats more than anything because the guy might have a good batting average, but have 30 less at-bats than the next guy below him. And I always look for pops, always search by home runs. And this is where week to week, I look for these people that are doing really well to follow even more that I may not know about.
I do the same with
content around that.
Cards.
What was that?
And do you put out content on that, or do you follow people who do that?
No, it's just something I've because of the Bowman First card being honestly the true first valuable card long term for a player. That's the one I want to be in. To me, the Topps rookie card became the next best thing because the other ones were too expensive. So everybody else jumped to the other one. That's really all that happened.
Baseball is also unique in my opinion because baseball doesn't have, and correct me if I'm wrong, you don't have that traditional RPA chase that you have in National Treasures with football and basketball.
Bowman First is your case. It's Bowman First.
Like is there a good patch rookie that you want? Or is Dynasty or any of those guys worth? No, right?
No, because
Bowman First autos are the stuff.
Leaf comes out with cards before Bowman does sometime of players, and it still doesn't get the attention unless they become a Mike Trout type player. They don't ever get the attention realistically. There's a guy that I followed recently in the low A's. He's already been pulled up to double A. His name's Brian Ray. I'll let you know who he is. I went and searched his cards. He doesn't have a Bowman card yet. Leaf is the only card he has, and it's from over a year ago. So I was like, okay, this guy is like killing it in A plus. You went to double A. He's doing really well there. So I'm like, nobody knows about this guy, so I'm going to go in. So I went and bought his Leaf Auto 1/1 for, I think it was $20. I was like, I'll take a chance on that. It's the cost of a blaster that I could get nothing out of versus getting a possible 1/1 of a guy that may be a sleeper. And there's only one card out of him anyway.
Well, let me ask you, there is a sleeper card that I like, and that is the Donruss rated rookie. I love it. There's like Bowman first and Donruss. I'm a sucker for that Donruss rated rookie. I love it. I love the history about it.
In fact, listen, if Panini's listening, what you guys should do, since you're self-managing this, Panini, you should swap a license with Topps and say, look, Topps, I'll let you make, I don't know, some product, and in replacement, let Panini run rated rookie full baseball, right? Maybe let Topps do, a Chrome basketball set. You could do a license swap, right? Do one product license swap, guys. Just do that.
They'll never do that. They'll never do that.
They won't do it. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
They'll do it as soon as their exclusive licenses get threatened by a real movement. They'll be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and exchange.
That won't happen. But I don't know why you keep trying to bash on Panini. Come on, man.
I'll tell you why Panini. Because look at this. Let me say this. Let's be honest. We talked about Finest. I talked about Chrome. How are their hobby box prices compared to last year and the year before and the year before?
Yeah, but they're taking advantage of a market. They're taking advantage of a market right now. They're not going to again. The market itself is actually going down for retail because people now can't get regular retail, so they don't even buy hobby.
Isn't exploiting it as badly as Panini is. My point is,
they're still exploiting it.
But Panini's Prism box at $1,500 or $2,000 is wrong.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
I agree.
For example,
Topps has been doing Chrome at $1,000. Topps hasn't introduced a single box in the hobby for over $1,000.
But nobody has a Dutch auction either. It's just Panini.
Yeah,
I agree.
I guess you
Topps has got problems with bots. It's hard to get the product.
You just gotta yell. I'm gonna yell. I'm gonna yell.
I stirred that pot on purpose. You notice I stirred that pot on purpose.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. So you did. You got him going. So
I was hoping you would take that.
Yeah, he took the bait. So in hockey, prices haven't risen as much as basketball either. Let's say Young Guns are Series 1, Series 2, which is the equivalent to Prism in basketball. They've gone up from $110, $120 to $200 Canadian. So it hasn't been a significant price increase, although the card values have gone up more than the price of the boxes, which is nice. So, it's not as crazy as basketball, like $1,500 a box. There's no doubt about it.
How much was the metal hockey at pre-sale?
You can't even. I've been asking my hobby shop about metal and like NSPA, because SPA Authentic and metal, in my opinion, are one of the two better products here. Yeah. And I can't even get a date. They don't get a date from the distributor. Like, you can't find out anything. Prices, like, I don't know. So like maybe a month before I'll know.
Well, they were pre-sold from what I know, but they were like $425 or $500 a box for just the metal.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, they're going to be cheap. They're going to be, they're not going to be cheap. They're going to be expensive. And Upper Deck is taking advantage on other markets with metal.
What's expensive to you, Rob? What price would Upper Deck come out with where you're like, that's disgusting?
Well, I paid $1,100 for a tin of the cup, which is the highest end in hockey, and I got demolished last week. Like, it was
the cup is like,
and there's no way I would do that. Like, and previously tops. 250, maybe 300 tops for a box.
That's their national treasure.
Yeah, it's the highest end. It's Patch Autos RPA at a 99. It's the best rookies you can get.
Metal's not like that, though.
No, metal.
Metal is being reintroduced anyway.
Yeah, metal seems to be just taking off the coattails of shinies, right? Because it was never popular with hockey people, shinies, and it seems like now that popularity just in general is in the market, so they're rehashing this product.
But they're going to have PMGs in this, so imagine what a Connor David PMG is going to be.
Oh, a lot. And then you have all the other
PMGs
superstars.
Numbered, or are they just short printed?
Yeah, they're numbered.
They are numbered. Okay, what are they
numbered? They're
numbered?
Yeah. Even if you look at a Michael Jordan on the back of it, each PMG is numbered. Like the greens are, I think, to 10. The reds are to 100. They're serial numbered on the back of the card.
Okay. Well, let me just give you an example. Panini releases UFC Prism, $1,000 of hobby box, right? Topps releases F1 Chrome, $500 a box. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, there's no denying what you're saying. I wouldn't buy either
because I can't get a case.
Me either. But I'm just saying, Panini just seems like they take advantage of it a little bit more. They seem to be abusing it also. And I will say, I did see how much Bowman mega boxes have been released, man. By watching the Topps, the Target stuff,
crazy.
I mean, are they at like 200,000?
But that's not a lot.
Is it not?
No, because if you really think of it, at 200,000 boxes, you're allowed to buy 6 per person or per order.
Right. No, wait a minute. You can get around that. So let's not.
Yeah, I'm just trying to give you an idea how much is really out there. Okay. The majority of people that are buying this are flippers, dealers, other card stores, guys that set up at shows, breakers. Those are the guys that are really doing it, not the hobby guys. The hobby guys go in and he gets 2 and he walks away. He doesn't be like 6 and then I need a bot to get me 6 more and 6 more and 6 more. And you got to remember with the mega box from Target, you're chasing 2 packs out of every box. Yes. At the end of the day, it's a 2-pack box. Everything else is just hopefully a Chrome card. That's it. But it's a great 2-pack box because you can get top autos out of that. Where the regular Bowman blasters, you can't get all those same guys that you can out of the mega box.
Right.
Especially being a Mojo card.
What do you think the mega boxes will resell in the aftermarket? They're $30 at Target. What will they resell? They won't be $150 a piece, will they?
No, they're like $50 a piece. Yeah. Now if you're holding something for a couple of years and Austin Martin or Blaze Alexander or some guy comes out of nowhere and it's fire, now you're talking sky's the limit. You're going Jason Dominguez thing all over again. There's another level that you're chasing. And God forbid, 10 years you have a guy that's like a Mike Trout. You're talking $1,000, $2,000 a box.
Those mojos in a Bowman first mojo. That's like, and then if you get an autograph, that's like the cat's meow right there.
It's like Sapphire, basically. That's basically the retail version of Sapphire to me.
My boys and I got into that back in 2017 with Ohtani. We were chasing the Ohtani year all summer long, man. And that stuff was $15 a box then. And there was a mistake where they released them late in the summer. They normally come in spring, so they got sporadically placed. That was so much fun. I absolutely loved those boxes. They brought me back they taught me what Bowman was. They got me back into the prospecting part. I'm a big fan of those. I did get a few on Target's website. I don't know if you guys did it as well, but I got 3 on Friday.
Yeah, see, Michael, I do something completely now. I will go to the Dallas Card Show, and I will buy every single Bowman First Chrome and Bowman First Mojo to build a set. I actually build a set of those, and I actually I take some and I set them aside because I love prospecting, and that's what I need. That's what I go after, those Bowman First, the Bowman First Chromes and the Bowman First Mojos, because they're so cool. I mean, yeah, you've got Panini Silvers. Okay, those are cool. But those Mojos, man, those Bowman Chrome Mojos are just like, I love them.
I mean, Bowman's king of the rookie card for a reason.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to beat him to the punch. I mean, Leafs trying their best, but the market doesn't seem to care.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you really want to go prospecting, go look at Onyx Authenticated. I mean, there's the guy loves I mean, is it licensed like Topps? No, but it's on card autographs, and the owner loves prospecting. He loves that personal connection. So the only reason why I'm saying give Onyx a chance is because of the owner of the company, and it's on card autos. Whereas you don't have to. And I've talked to him before. He says, I will never do a sticker auto. I will only do on card. So
I loathe sticker autos.
Yeah, if you're as big at prospecting as I am, then
lazy.
There's something else that you can poke your head around at.
Did you get any of the T206 minor league cards last year?
Nope.
No.
Why not?
No, that's not going to be something that the hobby's going to chase. It's just not.
I'm just curious.
So when I buy a card, so with Bowman First, with me, it's more of an investment than I'm chasing a player, because you don't know who's going to be good at the end of the day. I mean, it really don't. I watched an old video of a guy that pulled an orange Mike Trout Bowman First auto, and this was an old one. I think Cards Infinity, who's been around forever breaking. And he's like, oh, this guy Mike Trout, I think he's supposed to be good. Like, you're holding a $250,000 card 10 years ago. You just didn't know it yet. You know what I mean? Where he would have been shaking and nervous and sweating, and
those are all firsts.
Yeah, it's the Bowman First.
So let me ask you: have you looked at Star Stock for firsts? Have you bought or sold on there?
I would rather go to the Dallas Card Show and dig through boxes and find them that way.
And the reason I say that, because I sent a bunch of my a lot of my Chrome firsts to Star Stock, because I didn't know who the players were, first of all, and I figured I'd wait for them to pop up. And I have gone in there. Like, I found I had 2 of that dude, the Chisholm guy.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 of his autographs. I had no idea they pop up in Star Stock because I have offers on them. So I just give that as a tip. Like, the Bowman guys I didn't know what to do with, I send the Star Stock, and this is before they charge me to process them, and I have them there, and that way I get to see what their values are as they kind of show up on the radar there.
Yeah,
because it is, you have to know it, you have to follow it. Like today, for example, I sold to Ryan Tannehill because of the trade, which I paid $25 for the card. I sold it for $75. I was very happy.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I don't have much baseball. I got some Vlad stuff, of course, because I'm from Canada.
There you go.
And,
good stuff to have.
This year.
Vlad, yeah, it was Vlad. And then also those Bowman Firsts. I did buy a bunch of those Bowman First Chromes of what was that guy you were talking about? He's going to be in the league in 2 years. Yeah, Dominguez. I bought a bunch of those because it was like a long shot kind of thing, and I was like, and they were relatively cheap when I bought them. So.
Oh, I wish
I'm being told that he's the next Mike Trout. I mean, he could be big, and he's still young, right? And he's on the Yankees, so he's got check. Oh, here's another guy, this guy, Helios Ramos. These are some good tips. I've heard his name a lot.
Yeah, the thing is we're at a changing of the guard for all sports, in my opinion. All the GOATs are either retiring, ending their careers, and we're at this next wave. Baseball is definitely the juniors. This is going to be the next 15 years of the juniors, all the way across the board. That's just how it's going to be. And it's going to be exciting because these guys are very excitable.
Hockey's the same way. There's a lot of young talent and guys retiring.
We're at that stage where those guys that were really good and their kids were brought up in the sport for so long have been given so much benefit and information that it honestly helps them out, not just from a physical but mental standpoint, playing the game. They know more than the guy beside him that his parent wasn't a player and they weren't raised coming to games and standing on the field, going to all-star games and getting all this information from these athletes that are Hall of Famers that they can absorb and take in over time to become their own individual. That's what we're seeing now.
Well, you also have the athletes that made it their job are now getting long in that tooth. So the new generation has better medical technology, better training technology, and now they can go to the guys that came up as their full-time job. In the 80s, they were still, their previous, the 70s and the 60s, they still had part-time jobs. Yeah. So now you've got the science and the technology there, along with that ability to learn and to grow and to that background. Man, the next 10 years of athletics are going to get very, very interesting. Very interesting. I mean, think about the recovery time now on major injuries. You're talking, it used to be 2 years, then 1 year. Now we're talking, look at Dak. Dak had a compound ankle fracture, which should have been like at least a year and a half.
Well, that's career ending.
He's going to play.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to play. That's just incredible medical technology.
Hey,
I'm going to leave this comment up for a second. Theodore, do you have a channel?
Yeah, Stamkos, he thought he's like done, but no, Achilles, no problem, come back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Rotator cuff surgery, meh. Tommy John, meh. Have 5 Tommy John surgeries. Who cares?
Yeah, but if you have turf toe, you can't play for 3 months.
Or if you get accidentally elbowed in like the shoulder and you go,
That sounds like basketball.
That's all the LeBron memes.
I never flop. I'm sorry, Andy. Go ahead. I couldn't.
No, you guys. I have to tell you guys that I have zero knowledge compared. You guys know more baseball than I will. You will forget more baseball than I will ever know in my lifetime. So I was bowing out because you guys are just a wealth of information. I will get with you guys and you could just tell me who to buy and I will trust you guys. But Ziggy, you brought up something interesting and that's why I came back. You sold Tannehill, right?
I sold one today, yes.
Okay. I saw a post on, I think it was Instagram, and it was entitled Sunday Buying Opportunities. And it was Tannehill, Trey, Kawhi / Luka. Does anyone see a problem with buying opportunities for those guys right now?
That's a sell opportunity is what
I mean, my goodness, I have everything of those guys up at this very moment. And these are the guys that people are being told to buy.
Well, that's a problem. Now. That's a problem.
Well, what about Julio? What about Julio Jones?
Hey, Julio too. I mean, my goodness. I mean, I just don't understand what people are thinking sometimes, but when you said that, Ziggy, I'm like, okay, that was the right move.
And there was an accidental move. I mean, I've had him in my StarStar account for a while. And I'll even say this. I was driving today and I got an offer for 59. And I think I had him at 75. And I'm like, I might take 59. But I kept driving and then later on it gets sold. And I'm like, oh, I'm glad I didn't take 59.
I just think it's funny that when you're seeing like that's like especially the way we are in the market now, right? Is we're going to buy at the highest point of this when we don't even know where the market's going to be. I just don't understand the mindset. Maybe it's just me. I don't get it.
That's why I like digging through monster boxes.
I think sadly what it is information. People do react on information. Like I did see StarStock posted some things, who's up, and it was, I think Tannehill and stuff like that. A lot of it just, I don't know. They're just people are, I don't know.
Well, I think people don't understand the psychology of it, and that conflict of interest video you sent me, Ziggy, that I listened to. There was one girl in the background who was right, and she said, when everyone's saying buy it, you sell it, and when nobody's talking about it, you buy it. I mean, that's just how it works, because it seems like a lot of people, they just keep pumping one thing, and that's when you sell.
Yep.
I just did a video kind of talking about influencers and possibly pumping stuff, and it was a little bit off of what you were talking about the other day with James Beckett's interview and the conflict of interest, which was a good video. And my point in my video was you can't talk about anything without pumping it if you have an audience, because somebody's watching us, you, me, anybody for information because they're not sure. And they trust us because, like you said, you just sold a Tannehill and made a good profit. So I was like, well, maybe I should buy what Ziggy buys because he knows what he's doing. And my thing was go do your own homework to figure stuff out. And at the end of the day, though, we live in a world of followers, not leaders. And it's really easy to follow the guy doing well because why not? He's already doing well. It's not a bad strategy, but it can also get you hurt. And then you hate the guy for it. But that's the viewer's perspective that they need to really take into account. But for a content creator, we're just giving you an honest opinion. But we do have those random people that literally will pump a card for themselves. But they're few and far between. And I think the majority of the guys in the hobby right now are actually doing a pretty decent job of making sure and staying aware of what they're doing. And, like Brad, comeback card investor, he won't tell you the card he's buying until after he's bought enough that he's good to go because he doesn't want you as competition. And I understand that, and I completely get it.
Yeah, but it works two ways. It works two ways, though, right? Because there's a couple guys out there, present company excluded, of course, but there's a couple guys. The best videos that I like are cards that I am buying, but in reality, it's cards I bought weeks ago, maybe even months ago.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt for someone to say cards I'm buying, and if I pull out, 16 whatever cards it is, I have them. So if I have a subscriber base of 15,000 and 10% buy it, that's not going to hurt.
Still 15.
Andy, I went down a rabbit hole on your videos the other day. You have quite a bit of knowledge, and you know what you're looking for and what you're doing. The majority of our audiences, or not ours, I'm not even big enough to have an audience, but audiences out there, they don't know. They honestly are just getting into this.
No, and I agree, and that's the one thing. And again, when I got into this, it was by accident. You guys, I talked about this last time, but I'm not in it only to help, only to educate. Only to help people, only to say. I brought on it was funny because I thought, the video. It's not a. It didn't get. It's a good video, but I brought on an NBA talent scout that is really good. This guy was on John Morant before when he was in high school. He was on Trey in high school. He talks about R.J. Hampton, and he was the guy that I go to and say, okay, who do you like? So guys like that I listen to, but it's hard when you're being like like you're trying to pretend to be a general manager of a team saying, well, this guy's going to be good. But you have no idea. I mean, I don't even listen to myself on these things because I have no idea. I'm not a talent scout, Mm-hmm.
Okay, Michael, hit me with it. You've been dying to ask somebody. Go ahead.
I want
Creators Dinner. Come on.
Steve just joined. I want to let Steve say hello. Again, Flipping Steve, you guys don't follow. Big fan of what Steve does. I love how Steve shares, but he's very open about what he's doing and what he works with. Did you have a comment? Did you want to add something there, Steve? I saw you in the comments. Wanted to let you join.
Oh, I just got off work and I tried to go to sleep, and then I turned on YouTube and you were on. So I just thought I would join, and I'll probably just sit here quiet and listen. I did watch like Andy. I've never spoken with Andy before. I do watch your videos, and I watched, I think it was your last video where you were talking about adapting and things like that. That video was actually great. If anybody in this chat hasn't watched that video, I would recommend that video because it was very, very good. I was actually going to put out an investing video that same day, and I actually audibled away from that video and did something different, which Ziggy knows, where I was trying to give away some slabs just to help out some people in the community, some collectors and things like that. I just kind of went the other route. And your video actually hit on a lot of the stuff that I was going to talk about. And I just didn't want to follow it right up immediately with a video of my own. But I will still do a video similar to yours, but you hit the nail on the head with a lot of the points that you brought in. So I just wanted to say, I thought that was a really good video.
Well, I appreciate, I never met you, Steve, but I think I feel like I do. I went on my personal account. I hit you up on Instagram. That was me. But,
okay.
I watched your video, which actually I have a video coming out, and it talks about, and Ziggy, you're going to hate this video. I'm going to warn Ziggy, you're gonna hate this.
I love it.
This video, I'm gonna have all the haters. I'm gonna have Zippy yeah and Zappy no and all these guys come after me.
Zappy no.
But the video is gonna be why I'm not going to the national, right?
Oh, I watched that one.
And it gets into it. And Steve, you mentioned some of the things on it. And I just basically, like, you guys know my background. I just went down. I always look at it. What's my bottom line? I always use the WIFM. You guys heard of the WIFM? What's in it for me? There's nothing in it for me, because every video that I saw, I watched Steve's video. I watched all these guys, and you're not going to get deals there. You're $1,000 in the hole before you step on the floor. And I get into it, but I do say though, Zig, I said, look, if you're going to network or meet people, or you're going to create content, by all means do it. But if you're going there to think you're going to find the deal of the century, unless you have disposable income that you can just go and have fun, rethink it, because there's a good chance that the cards you buy will lose value by the time you get home. And for whatever reason, Steve, please expound on this, because your video was excellent. These guys are not coming off comps for the most part.
FYI, real quickly, Steve and Andy, you guys are going to be in Philly this week. So if you guys don't know each other,
Steve, I'll come and meet you if you want at the show, because I was going to pop in for a day. I say that on my video. I go, for $10, I'll stop by the show.
Yeah, I'll be there Sunday. So I know it's the last day of the show, but sometimes that's when you can find people kind of packing up. And I went to the one last year on March 1st. On March 1st last year was the last time they actually held this show. And I went on Sunday as well, and actually did pretty well at that show for it being a Sunday. So that's when I'll be there. So hopefully we'll run into each other.
Yeah, it's just I'll message you on IG. I'll
okay.
We'll hook up.
You know, I agree with you, Andy, on the national. And I'll say this too. I went back and forth. The only reason I am really I want to go national is more for networking and seeing people. It's not to buy cards at all. I'm not taking cards to trade. I wouldn't do that. And if my kids, by some chance, both were to bail and had no interest, I probably wouldn't go at all, because I also wouldn't have the time to go for 4 days. If I went, it'd be 1 or 2 nights. My kids' attention span is they're not going to deal with 4 or 5 days. They'd be like, no way, Dad. You know, it's mainly 1 hour one day, maybe another hour the next day. So I agree. I think that's a great video. I think this is a very good point, because I go back to what I've said before. If you're in sports cards, if you're living, they're going to tell you it's like an infomercial. You got to be there. You're missing out. But the reality is, like, if you're a collector, it's really cool, but you're not missing your life by not going there. And like you said, you're $1,000 out just by showing up that you could have bought a box at home and you know, had a personal rip.
Well, Ziggy, you're out $1,000 plus your camera girl, so come on.
Well, that's
I
forgot about that.
Yeah, you work a camera girl. Come on.
That was before I knew my sons were going. I'll tell you that right now. So I'm gonna have to work on that. So we'll see. I'm not backing out. I'm not backing out.
It's true though, right? Because I'm pretty sarcastic. Guys that don't know me, but I was saying, like, hey, if you want to go and make tedious, inaudible videos, be my guest. I mean, it's right. It's always looking at the same cards and going. But some of these people, like, I was getting like, I don't know if it was Steve's video or another video. They got like camera crews following them around. Like, they're like, I was like, wow, that's
even
really
here in Tampa. There's 3 or 4 camera shows. There's a guy that goes live on Instagram and sells cards that he makes a deal with from the guy he just bought them from to sell them on his Instagram, and he sells it immediately. And he makes money on it. So the guy he bought from made money on. He just sold these live on Instagram. He just made money. And then he's walking around doing this with other deals at the show. So he's basically using cards that are already existing, creating a deal, and then selling it for even more right in front of the other guy live on Instagram. Yeah, it's crazy. I just watch it and I'm just in amazement. I'm just like, this is stupid. But people want it. Who cares? Yeah. It's entertainment.
And it, like the price of going to a show. I mean, if you set it up as hey, I'm going for the experience as opposed to I'm going to get deals and I'm going to come away with some cards or make some sales, then, you know, sometimes it will warrant the trip. I was really on the fence about the national. And so in Dallas, it was the first show I attended since the Philly show. So it had been over a year. And I didn't know what to expect at all. And I took a whole case of cards with me and everything. And I went really hard with some deals. I took some cash. I did well on the dealing aspect of it. Now, I don't know if that worked for everybody, but I came home with more cash than I left with. I came home with less cards that I left with, but I also came home with some cards that I really wanted. Even with that being said, the highlight of the trip was meeting people. And I didn't go there to social network. I don't do that. I don't market myself. I don't social network. That's not why I do this whole YouTube thing. I actually do it because it is fun and I love the community. I love the people that I've met. So out there, meeting, and there was multiples. I mean, I intentionally met up with Dustin, Brad, and Boris. I mean, we had a plan to meet up before we even got there, but then meeting random people walking around the show. And it actually, at times it felt awkward because I don't look at myself as, hey, I'm a person that people know from YouTube. Yeah. So when I'm walking through the hotel and people are like flipping Steve or fist bump or can I get a selfie? I mean, that was actually awkward to me. And
I 100% agree.
Because that's not me. I'm like any of you guys like on the panel, we're just guys that like the hobby and we have something in common. Don't put me on a pedestal because I'm on YouTube, because that's not my intention.
That like pictures.
Well, isn't that the whole thing though? Is like, what are you doing it for? You're not doing it to be like famous or to be an influencer. I mean, if someone recognizes you, come and say, hey, thanks, for your advice. I mean, I appreciate it. That's great, but it's what you're doing it for. And there's people in this hobby that, you could say, but they're doing it for reasons because they want to be a panelist on ESPN.
Right.
That's not me.
There's a reason why.
And that's like Steve's reason. Steve, if I correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, didn't your daughter kind of dare you? Or was it with the TikTok account? But your daughter got you.
Yeah, my daughter got me on the TikTok thing. I mean, it took a long time to get me to the YouTube because I was a member of another Facebook group. And I just would write little articles for that other Facebook group. And I didn't even have, I didn't have a YouTube handle or anything yet. I was just my name. I was just Steve, I was Steve Gray. And that's who I still am. And there was just a falling out there because this Facebook page, I'm sorry, they wanted to start charging people for their opinions. So they built up a big following. And then all of a sudden they were like, okay, we're changing our Facebook group to where we now have an exclusive members area for $10 a month. You can get our picks. We're no longer going to give you our opinions or any of our thoughts on the regular page, but you can get them on the exclusive page. That's pretty much what they said to everybody after they built up a loyal following. And really, I was the main person writing all the articles on the Facebook page and stuff. And I pretty much blasted it and said, you know what? This isn't necessarily a group I want to be a part of, so I don't care if I get kicked from it. And my next article was about how I thought that it wasn't right.
Awesome.
That they wanted to collect money off of people that they had built up as loyal followers in the community. We're in this together, whether it's to make profit or to have fun. It's not about I can make money off of these people now that I have them addicted to my content. So,
that's the whole thing, though, right?
That is how it was.
Yeah. What's that?
I said that is how it was. It's just freedom of information. You go like I love Facebook, and you just get different opinions in there. But I actually haven't seen that any of them tried to charge them. It's crazy that they're trying to charge for
I saw kind of a movement towards, but I will say to me the Facebook groups are the best because they'll call that out, right? Or else there's just more community into it. You know what I'm saying? So I applaud that you did that you were vocal. It's funny. And I'll say this too. I did a Facebook group for a long time, right? That's where my videos were. And honestly, the reason I went to YouTube last year, because I was watching people, I was like, well, I've been doing this in my Facebook group forever, so I just wanted to take what I was sharing and take it over here. So I'm glad you did that, Steve. I'm glad to hear your story and how you.
Yeah, well, I got, I knew I was going to get kicked off, so I got kicked from that group. I knew that was going to happen. I knew that post was going to get me kicked off, but so I went back, I was doing my own thing. I was buying cards, selling, collecting, just keeping to myself. And I started getting a bunch of Facebook messages from people that names were familiar, but I didn't necessarily know. And then I realized they were all from that Facebook group. And they were like, when they kicked you from that Facebook group, it kind of started a mutiny within the group to where everybody was arguing. We can't believe you kicked. He was writing the articles. That was the best part about the Facebook group. And it took about a week and a half of people asking me to start my own Facebook group before I finally did it. Because why does anybody want me to start a Facebook group? is what I ask myself. Who cares about me having a Facebook group? So I started it, and the guys that actually were the guys that were encouraging me to do it are the guys that I gave the page to. I said, look, I'll start the page, but you guys are in charge of it. You guys can govern it. You guys can do whatever. And it's not my page. It's our page. It's everybody who joins the group. It's our page. I'm not naming it after myself. I'm not putting there's nothing, you will not find anything flipping Steve on that Facebook page at all. I'm even on there under my real name, Steve Gray. So, and that's the way that it is. And it's mostly chat. There is some buy, sell, trade and things like that. I don't even talk about it that much on the YouTube channel. But anyway, those guys, again, kept pushing. You should do YouTube. You should do YouTube.
Do you want to mention the channel? Do you want to mention the group, Steve? Do you want people to join it? And it sounds like a good group. And I don't think I'm in it. I'm not sure. But
the group that kicked me out?
No, the group that you're running right now. The thing you're running right now.
Steve's a little tired tonight.
I will put them on the spot.
I mean, my Facebook group is just called basically Teamwork Makes the Dream Work. And it's in my, it's
Teamwork
always in the Teamwork Makes the Dream Work. But it's always in the, like the what do you say? The description of my YouTube channels.
Okay.
It'll be a little flash up Facebook links below, but I never say, hey guys, check out my Facebook group, check out my Instagram or anything like that. It's just there. I don't push it. You see it. If you want to click the link, that's fine. What
I'll probably see is a lot of same people I know in the Facebook community, which is another thing I love, right? You will, if you aren't active in Facebook, if you have a Facebook account and you look at these groups, you'll see a lot of the connections of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of cross.
Another way to kind of vet them. If you see a guy in 500 groups, he's probably a reputable or has a reputation. If you only see him in one or two groups, I'm a little more suspicious. If that makes sense. So,
or like 50 mutual friends.
You see a lot of cross activity. You'll see a lot of the same people that you see. Just like we see the same people that watch our content and that comment, because I try to read all my comments, and sometimes that's tough. There was a day when I tried to respond to every one of them. It was a part of my day. Every night, I would go to bed. And for an hour while I was in bed, I would try to reply to every single YouTube comment that I got. And I just wouldn't hit the thumbs up or the heart. I mean, I would actually try to respond. It's gotten hard. I still try to do it. And that's why I'm doing more live streams, just like when I'm driving to work and driving home, because it's easier to address a lot of comments verbally than it is to sit and type out.
Steve, you bring up a good point. And if people take enough time to ask a question, then I think we have at least the best, do our best to answer those questions. Mm-hmm. And I think we owe that to the people that, give us their time, because I say it a lot, is that's the most valuable thing these guys have. They're going to take 5 or 10 minutes to listen to one of our videos. And the least we can do is answer a question. And I see that all the time. That's one of the things when I say it, and I know Zig, it is, I watch everything because I'll send Ziggy clips. Watch this, watch that, or look at this.
You're my informant.
And the thing is, I look at the comments, and they never answer the comments. A lot of these guys, maybe they just do it for clickbait and the
sometimes
views.
If you're me, you get blocked, and you go back and no one's responded to my comment. No one's responded to my comment.
Yeah. And, I do the Monday night live stream, and I do that over 2 hours, like every Monday when I get off of work. And that's, I do that. First of all, I genuinely like it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend, I got to give up 2 hours of my time to people who watch me. I don't, it's not like I'm giving them the time. Well, it is two things. Okay. They give me their time, so I give my time back to them, but never do I loathe on the way home from work being like, I got to sit down and do this 2 hours tonight.
But even when I'm tired. A lot of guys like you, and I know most of you guys, I think I may be the exception, is you guys work for a living, right? I mean, this isn't like you can just spend all day doing this stuff. So that you come home, you got to take care of kids, you got other things, and then you're going to do your YouTube thing. I mean, it's a lot of work. I mean, it's crazy because I think I'm a little out there in my OCD. But it takes me a week to outline an episode, and it's a lot of work. I can't imagine, like Ziggy, you're doing stuff every single day, and Flip and Steve, you're doing stuff twice a week, and Mike, Texas Car Dude, you're daily too. I mean, you guys are crushing it, and I'm like, I just don't know how you guys do it. So hats off to you guys.
It's funny because I work 10.5-hour shifts. Now I know some people work 12-hour shifts, so I'm not going to complain, but I work 10.5-hour shifts, and hey, I'm glad I have a job. At least I can say that, hey, I'm not saying, oh my God, I got to work 10 hours. I feel fortunate enough that I have a good enough job that I like to go to. So, but I do that. And Michael knows I've been doing live streams. I don't live very far from work. Basically, I can be in my work parking lot within 8 minutes, but the parking lot's pretty big because it's a casino. But I've been doing the live streams in the morning, and it was going to be one. I was like, I'm going to do this once a week. And now I've done it 3 days in a row because I've had so much fun doing it that I'm like today I was about to leave and I was like, man, I'm going to go home. I'm tired. I'm going to take a shower, get something to eat. I got to get up in the morning again. And then I was like about to walk out the door at work. And I was like, man, I got to talk about these basketball games with somebody. And I just threw my phone up on the thing and turned on the mic. And I was like, let's go.
Your wife didn't want to listen to basketball games?
Yeah, right. So I was like, and it was like 3 days in a row when originally I was like, okay, I'm going to do one as a trial and see how it works. And now it's already been 3 days in a row. And I do a 2-hour live stream tomorrow night. And I'm already thinking about, man, should I leave early for work? Because I do got to leave a little bit earlier for work because I got to set stuff up and things like that. I said, should I get up a little bit early so I can actually live stream on the way to work again, even though I'm going to do another one tomorrow night? I don't know. I come on to chat with you guys because I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like I come on the panel and I haven't talked with everyone here, but I just like to come on and chat. Like I feel like I'm just chatting with the guys. I feel like we're hanging out and we're talking about something that we all love. Even if we have differences in opinion, that's absolutely fine. Like I always say in my videos, disagree with me. I love it when people disagree with me, not because I like to dispute, but because you might open my eyes to something that I don't realize because I don't know everything. Yeah. And, when you can sit with a lot of people that have the same thing in common and bounce things off each other, I talk a lot, but I can be a sponge as well,
I think it's what makes this fun. We all love sports. We like talking smack about who our favorite team is, who our favorite players are. And this is a way we can put a little, something in the game, right? I think that's why I maybe I'm wrong, but I love the competition of sports, and that's why I love sports cards. I think that's really what it is for me. More than anything, I love the competition, watching players, being up to date, what's going on, listening to the news, how it impacts them, even the off season, what they do, their behavior. I love, and I'll tell you too, I like talking to my kids about sports, and I like talking to my profession about sports because sports it can go across anything. Like I can go to a client and talk about a game or a college game or the softball, whatever it might be, and it's not arming, it's not political, it's not religious, it's something we can all kind of disagree to agree on, and I don't know, I love that.
I agree with that too because Vancouver Canucks here in Canada, I wear this hat and it's a conversation starter, whether they, hate them or whatever. And it just, you get that connection right away because people love sports.
Yep.
Well, what's funny? Like as soon as I popped on and was listening, the first thing I heard you guys talk about was I heard someone mention first Bowman and Topps. Was it the Topps 206? I heard that going around in the conversation, and I was like, "Oh my goodness! I have some of that stuff laying out on my bookshelf." So this is all Bowman packs from last year.
I love Bowman.
And Topps 206 that I was buying off the website. I was like, they're talking about it. I was like, I'm going to grab it, and maybe
you're like, this is my
Ziggy
jam.
has somebody in the chat that might want a pack or something, and send it out to them or something because I don't open it. I buy it to give away.
What is it? The T206 from this year or last year?
This was the one that was. I guess it's going to be last year's because I didn't know that it was out this year.
And do you know what wave it is?
I got 2 boxes of every wave.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Very cool.
Now it doesn't say on the box the actual wave that it is, so you can't tell.
The heck out of me. Yeah.
But I bought. This is only 2 of the boxes. The rest of them are out there. But I bought 2 of every wave. So if there was 5 waves, then I have 10 of these. Or if there was 6 waves, then I have 12. I'm not sure how many I have.
I will say we are going a little bit long on time. Quick question, everybody. Thoughts on how to give cards to kids?
What can we do? When you brought that up too, because Cards for Kids has always been one of the main groups to send stuff to. A guy I've met down here through retail hunting actually runs Chris Godwin, the wide receiver for the Buccaneers Foundation, And then they also get cards and send stuff to Cards for Kids in Texas, because I have stuff that I'm going to give to him. But like you said on the website, it's saying they're not accepting cards. I just don't know if they haven't updated that or not. Because it used to be you just sent it to them. And then what they would do is break it up and then give it out to kids and stuff.
Well, I'm also thinking like PSA slabs. There's going to be a lot of PSA slabs coming back, right? That people aren't going to want, right? That's a great thing because you can give a kid a slabbed card. And a kid
most
isn't
people
going
are trying to get their money back.
If it's a rookie, I'm just saying that's one thing I'm thinking about is the way we can get slabs to kids. I still donate to my Boys and Girls Club. I drop off the raw, common cards there because it's easy. I don't have to ship them. But I'm just thinking, if you guys hear any charities that are doing anything, let me know.
So what I do for the past 5 years is I just get team bags. And then, I'll take inserts and some jerseys, and I'll make up packs, maybe 80 of them, and just give them to the kids at Halloween. And so I live in an apartment, so I can't give them here, but I go to my parents. And like last year, boxes got mixed up of one of my personal boxes when I was a kid. And they're old 90s cards, right? And my dad's like, I haven't really heard of these guys. I said, that's the wrong box. And kids kept coming to the door. They're like, oh, you got the hockey cards. This is the hockey house. And they loved them. And that's awesome. That's what I do is I'll get a 3,200 point and I'll just stack them with, some inserts, some jerseys, some base cards, for here, it's like Crosby, McDavid, the base cards and, and you just put them together and the kids love them. And now they're coming back asking them for them. So I found that was a really good way to get rid of cards.
I definitely remind people that the Halloween pack is an awesome. And let me quickly mention too, if you don't follow a guy called Ripping One Handed, he's got a YouTube channel. He's bigger on Instagram and I think Twitter. Ripping One Handed. He's born with one hand. He's friends with John Abbott. I think is that right? John Abbott, the pitcher.
Yeah.
Right. So he's personal friends with him, and he does a charity thing where he gets people to donate him Abbott cards, and he gives Abbott cards to other disabled kids, and he sometimes will get them autographed. So if you guys have Abbott cards, if anybody listening has Abbott cards, recommend sending them to Ripping One Handed and look for stuff like that because I know we're talking about how to get stuff to the kids. Everybody's looking for ways, whether it's retail or not. Let's find ways to do that. If you have anything you hear about, please let me know and share that to the channel.
The other thing you guys can do. My kid is out in California and he does he runs basketball programs out there. What he does is he brings them to the schools because he does physical education, and then he'll bring them to the camps, the basketball camps. It doesn't matter what cards you have because like he's out on the West Coast and he'll give like a Steph Curry. They go because they love it. They go berserk.
Absolutely.
They can learn about it, right? So like schools would be good, and like any kind of like AAU programs or for the young kids, they love that stuff.
It's a good idea.
Awesome.
I've got there's a couple of dads that I are in my tribe or my community, whatever you want to call it, and I always will send, like one of the guys' kid's birthday was last week. You're always sending cards to the kids, just whatever, and if I find like one of the kids a Frank Thomas fan, so if I find a Frank Thomas card, it's going to. If I'm searching this is a cool Frank Thomas card, it's going to him. So it's just again part of the community type thing.
Yeah, and like
children's crossbows. That's another good suggestion there too, guys. That's an excellent idea. Yeah. That's an excellent idea.
I did a video last night, Ziggy. You watched it because you commented about a better way to do it because I really didn't put a whole lot of thought into it. My generosity was just there, and I was like, man, I got some cards. These are $30, $40 eBay cards, but by the time eBay cuts their fees and I ship it out and this, that, and the other, I was like, this will bring more than $25 worth of joy to somebody if I can find somebody that likes this player. I mean, look, my highlight, you guys know my highlight of it. Everything that I did in Dallas was getting a Soundgarden card from a subscriber, from a viewer. This happened on Thursday. The first day that I was there, within the first hour, they tracked me down. They actually asked Brad and Dustin, "Where's Steve? Where's he at?" And I was like, I could go home now and be happy. I was like, I could fly my ass back to Delaware like right now and be happy. And that, what that did was that realized, because, I've been doing a lot of buying and selling and making money and things, but what that did was it made me realize, man, I still love to collect. I still love the hobby. It's not just money. And thanks to the show locator who gave me this, because that was almost an inspiration to me, as in, man, 100%. They really, this has been right in front of my face the whole time. And I've been so concentrating on buying the valleys and selling the peaks that I've been missing out on what I was originally in this whole thing for. Right. And, you know, and I have stuff like, and I just really didn't think it out, because I was just like, hey, comment below, tell me a good reason why you would like this card, and I'm going to send it to you. And it was just kind of like, because now it's like, now I feel bad, because now I got to choose somebody to send a card to when there's 10 people that want it. And now I feel guilty because I can't give it to all 10 people. And so now I'm like, okay, well, what else do I have along the same lines? Okay, this person likes the Eagles. Do I have any more stuff so I can give something to everybody? And so I kind of got myself into a situation with that. But I mean, like, even like little stuff like slabs, like this is going to go to somebody. This is just a cheap slab of a cheap Michael Jordan card. But if I was in first grade or second grade, and I could take this to school and show my friends, look at my Jordan slab. It doesn't matter what it's worth or what the slab says on it or anything like that. It's like, I could just imagine myself, if I turn back the clock, man, I got to turn back the clock real far. But let's just say if I went back to that day, how I would feel like being able to carry this around with me. In fact, I carried an 86 Fleer Jordan around in my pocket. So, hindsight being 2020, but I busted. I remember when I could bust 86 Fleer basketball. I remember buying that at the department store and busting that. So, and at the time, it wasn't like busting it. It was like, oh, I'm going to get 2 packs, while I'm here and open them. Don't put them in the bag, Mom. Don't put them in the bag. I want to open them as I'm walking out the door.
And that was all your allowance, too. That was everything.
Yeah, well, back then it was like 40 cents, 35
it was like
cents
me, with 90-91 upper deck. Like, that was it. You bought 2 packs, $6 each. Like, you're down for the week. Yep. But, you get that Hasek or that Brodeur or whatever rookie it is. And that's there's no liquidity.
There's no liquidity.
But there's
trading.
You got
a great hit. It's not like you're selling it next week. It's like you just hold it.
But there's the trading aspect. It's like with friends, you're like, ooh, I got this. I got this Brodeur card.
What we do on a daily basis, sometimes you lose touch. And I'll tell you guys a quick story, because this is a crazy story. My kid does these AAU things, and he does all these. He interacts with kids every day with basketball and stuff like that. And one day he brought cards to the school. And what can I actually say? I think it's on my second video that a kid comes up to him and says, "My brother played for Colorado in football. Do you think you could find his card?" And my kid's like, "I have no idea." So of course he goes on eBay. He finds this kid's college card, and some guy has it in Hawaii. And he was like, for whatever was $1. So my kid messaged him, says, he goes, "I'll send it to you for free." So the kid, he gets the card, whatever. After the school's over, he calls the kid over and says, "Hey, I got something for you." He gives the kid the card. The kid's dad's there. "Hey, come on, we got to go." He goes to the car. The dad comes out. He's like, "Where did you get this?" He goes, "Don't worry about it." But you don't think that made an impact on this kid, that he found his brother's card? I mean, that's the kind of stuff that we lose touch with because everything is money and flipping and doing all this stuff. And you have to realize why we first got into this.
Well, mine was the liner to Shields. Like, my favorite team was the Orioles, so I always liked Cal Ripken, but the hometown guy from like 20 minutes up the highway was DeLiner to Shields, and he was in the Expos organization, almost won Rookie of the Year that year. That Expos team, I started buying Expos hats and jerseys, and I live near Baltimore, close to Baltimore, but I was like, wow. DeLiner to Shields. He would come back every year to the high school, and he would do like a charity basketball game because he was recruited for basketball as well, but he chose baseball. But he would bring members of the team back with him, and they would do a charity basketball game in the high school gym, every year in the winter when basketball was off. And then they would go to the high school cafeteria and sit at a long cafeteria table and all sign autos and take pictures with everybody. And he was a pretty good player in his own right, at least for a while. but he also brought guys with him like Marquise Grissom and Larry Walker.
Yeah.
You know, these guys were young with him. They were all the rookies around the same time, early 90s, and weren't big superstars yet, but they would come back to and play basketball right at the local high school gym. And then nobody famous ever makes it from the state that I live in. I live in Delaware. You know, my state is smaller than a lot of cities. So it's like when something happens when anybody around here makes it even halfway decent, it's like a big deal.
Yeah.
What about Flacco?
Yeah, he went to the university, but he was like originally from Pennsylvania and then transferred from another college back to the University of Delaware so that he could start. Just like Rich Gannon, he went to the University of Delaware also. Mm-hmm. And I probably think that Rich Gannon is probably the best quarterback to ever play at University of Delaware. Some people will argue Flacco with me, but I don't know. Rich Gannon put together a hell of a career.
So, guys, listen, I'm going to have to you saw my dogs a little upset. They're ready to go outside. I'm going to go ahead and pull this to a close. I do want to mention one thing real quickly. I dropped this idea with Andy today. I'm thinking about
dogs must be hanging with your dogs.
I'm thinking
your dogs are pissing my dogs off.
See? I'm thinking of making some garbage pail-like characters for content creators in the hobby.
Oh, that would be cool.
What do you think about that?
You know what's really funny is I thought about that the other day too, Ziggy. I don't know, maybe we were channeling something.
Okay, so we'll talk more then, because here's my thoughts were, let's make a list of like, say, 20 content creators, and then we can start picking some names. We get an artist who can do some characters.
You need to take an overweight dude, bald dude like me, and put me in some put me in some gymnastic stuff, because I get the comment all the time, Flipping Steve, can you really do a flip?
So
Steve, there you go.
Can you really do a flip, man? And Mike, I have the same answer. I said, no, I can't do a flip, but I'm the somersault master. So
there you go.
Well, I'm waiting.
Yeah, I need like a spandex gymnast suit doing a flip.
Look for the garbage pail light. I don't want to take the name, but something like that. Content creator cards. I got a lot of great friends. I think it'd be fun. We could do this maybe a charity event, make some characters up, make some T-shirts for the national stickers. I don't know. But NFTs.
Could I get one in there?
Absolutely, Rob.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely, dude. You don't have to have a channel, but again, we could have, and you're gonna have to help with some creativity and people listening.
I can help.
Well.
Yeah, as long as it's not stripping, Steve. All right, we can't do that.
Yeah, and not too negative. You can make it I think they should have a parallel. Like you should have.
I had a great idea.
We got to have our main character and our alias, just like the Garbage Pail Kids had.
Yes, exactly. The main, and you have like a parallel.
It'll be Panini Ziggy, and it'll have like flames coming out of his head. Just
man, I love it.
Somebody's at my door. My dog.
That's your pail.
I got a German Shepherd. He gets a little upset when people come to the door. He's territorial.
Personal finance guys in the chat. I didn't see him. Hey guys, let me just first of all, again, we're really over. I want to thank you guys very much for joining. I want to thank everybody in chat. Let me also say this: I'm not good at this when it comes to monitoring chat and monitoring this. That's not my skill. I'm learning. I appreciate everybody. We'll work on this in the future, so I'll try to get these comments in the future. So I really appreciate you guys. I had 40 people tonight watching. That's freaking awesome. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the people who are here tonight. Michael Ham, Texas Card Dude, Sports Card Investigator, Flipping Steve. You know, share the love, share the hobby. And again, all your feedback and comments, guys.
And again,
and the thumbs up.
Thanks, guys. Yeah. Go back and watch Andy's last video, because that video was really good. I got
to catch up on a couple other videos that people mentioned in the chat. Steve. I have not caught up, but I'll be back tomorrow morning live. I know Steve's live as well, and so is Texas Card Dude tomorrow morning. So a lot of good content in the mornings as well, guys. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
All right, good night, guys. Thanks.